Another hormonal preparation is emergency contraceptive. Okay, this is also known as morning after pill, and effectiveness is up to 89%, 75 to 89%. So when this emergency contraception can be used, as the name conveys, emergency circumstances. What are emergency circumstances? Suppose if the couple is participating in sexual intercourse, accidentally, if any of the condom is ruptured and semen is leaked into the vagina, so the chance of getting pregnancy would be more. Then immediately in the sense, say within 72 hours generally, or some people say some preparations are there, some tablets are there, within 3 to 5 days. If female takes the tablet, it prevents pregnancy. Not only due to accidental leakage of semen during coitus, sometimes during rape cases, the girl should be protected from getting pregnancy. In such a case, this emergency contraception will be given. But unfortunately, this emergency contraceptive method is being misused by most of the people nowadays. The reports are there. Now, it is available for any individual who crosses 15 years. For that, no need of any prescription. But below 15 years, prescription is required. Doctor's prescription is required. Okay. Now, what is there inside the emergency contraceptive? As I told you, it is made up of estrogen and progesterone combination. Hormones only. That's why we call all these methods as hormonal methods. Okay. So, it can avoid pregnancy due to rape or casual unprotected intercourse. Sometimes people will be, the couple will be very casual. Okay, today we will go for sexual intercourse without any condoms or any methods. That is casual unprotected sex, where there is chance of getting pregnancy. Then after that, they may feel repentance. We made a mistake. We should have used some methods. Okay. Now, previously, there was no chance, but nowadays it is available. Emergency contraceptive is available in the market. So this is that one, emergency contraceptive tablets. Okay. So here it is written, take the first tablet as soon as possible within 72 hours of unprotected sex. 72 hours means 3 days. Within 3 days you can use. Now, again, it should be used by female only. Now, coming to injections or implants. What is injection or implants? See, taking tablets may give some inconvenience to the couple, for the females. Suppose if any device is there which can be kept inside and effective for many days, many months, many years, as long as they want to have a gap between one child to another child, or they don't want to have pregnancy for 3 years. Within these 3 years, I should not use any condoms, I should not use any chemical method or hormonal method. Then what is to be done? I must have a free sexual intercourse with my life partner. What is to be done? So for them, we have implants, injections and implants. How they are arranged, You see here, this is the implant capsule. It is available like a small wires, and they are arranged beneath the skin. The upper arm, just below the upper arm, beneath the skin, a small incision is made by doctor. But this method, it should be used by doctor only. A small incision is made, and they are arranged subcutaneously, just below the skin, and it is closed. And they will be there inside your body, underneath the skin, and they keep on interfering with your ovulation process. Okay, and their mode of action is similar to that of pills, right? And its action is very, very longer, you know. See, 5 years, continuous 5 years, you can keep them like that. So once you keep implant inside the skin, up to 5 years, no need of worry. So they have hormonal quantity which is sufficient for 5 years. After that, they have to remove it and go for new set of implants. But see, who wants to have 5 years gap between one child to another child? Okay, who want to delay pregnancy up to 5 years? Generally, no, unless there is a strong reason. Understood? So, generally, they will be used by a female only once. That's all. Okay, but the problem with this implant is it must be inserted by doctor only, and there is a chance of some pain here, and there is a chance of some swelling here where the implants are arranged. It may cause some inconvenience during the first few days. After that, it becomes a part of your body, slowly keep on releasing hormones that would prevent pregnancy. Again, this is also for female. That's what I told. Any hormonal method is meant for female only. Then one more hormonal method, oral contraceptive. This is the age old today, people are not using. Why? It is to be taken orally, not like emergency contraceptive. Orally should be taken regularly for 21 days. They have to take 3 weeks. Again, 1 week gap. After menstruation, again 21 days continuously. So they are also made of hormonal preparation, interfere with the ovulation. Okay, so we call them as OCs or oral contraceptives. Okay, the tablets or contraceptive we are using orally. That's why we call them as OCs. Okay, how to use them? They should be taken daily up to a period of 21 days. As I told you, we have to give a gap of 7 days. Okay, if the female wants to have pregnancy, then he can stop using them, that's all. If the female desires to have pregnancy, she can stop using them, then she will get pregnancy. Okay, now, how they work? They prevent ovulation. Even ovum is released, zygote is found, zygote is developed up to blastocyst stage. If it wants to implant to the wall of the uterus, it will prevent. It doesn't allow the embryo to get implanted to the wall of the uterus. So there is a chance of pregnancy. Okay. And one more way by which it prevents pregnancy is, see, they alter the quality of the cervical mucus. So cervix is the entrance of uterus. It produces some mucus which is generally sperm friendly, but it changes the quality of the mucus so that it becomes hostile. Previously it used to be friendly with the sperm, but it becomes hostile and either stops or retard the entry of sperm cell. So this is another way, along with this inhibiting ovulation and implantation, another way of preventing pregnancy by oral contraceptives. Now, this is another one, Saheli. What is the specialty of Saheli? It's a non-steroidal. So far what we have discussed, all these hormonal methods, they are steroidal. This is a non-steroidal, almost no side effects. Other hormonal methods have certain side effects, but here no side effects. It's a non-steroidal preparation, and the thing is, it has high contraceptive value. The chances of preventing pregnancy are very high, and moreover, very few side effects, if at all. And another advantage is once in a week, not daily, just once in a week is enough. no insertion into the skin, no daily taking like oral contraceptives, just once in a week, that's all. It's non-steroidal. So that is the beauty of this Saheli oral contraceptive. Okay? Once a week pill. Now, so that's about hormonal methods. Hormonal methods prevent pregnancy either by preventing ovulation or implantation or making uterus non-friendly to the entry of sperms. Either they prevent the entry or retard the entry of the sperm cells. Hormonal preparations are used by females only. And the next method. So far we learned natural method, barrier method, hormonal method. Now IUD. What is IUD? Intra-uterine device. Within uterus device, a small instrument. So this device is used inside the uterus. It is kept inside the uterus. That's why it is called intrauterine devices. So obviously this method is also for, yes, females only. Why? Because uterus. Female only has uterus. No male has uterus. This method is also for females. Now, what are the different types of intrauterine devices? How they prevent pregnancy? Let us see. So here the picture, this is the intrauterine device. This is the uterus, fallopian tubes. Uterus, this is the intrauterine device. Okay. We have different types of intrauterine devices. LNG IUD, copper IUD. Okay. Now let us see. There are 3 different types of IUDs. Okay. This is one of the most widely accepted contraceptive methods in India. Most of the people are using this. So 3 types, 3 types of IUDs we have. One is non-medicated. Example, Lepasto. Then copper releasing IUD. The IUD which release copper ions. Example, CUT, CU7, multi-load 375. And hormone releasing IUD. Example, Pristosat, LNG20. Okay. How these IUDs prevent pregnancy? Let us see. So this is Lepasto. And the usage of Lepasto is almost nil nowadays, almost reduced. Most of the people are using a different IUD, copper T, this one. Most of the people are using this one. Right. How this copper T prevents pregnancy? How it is arranged like this inside the uterus? See, if you go back to the picture, so this is a T-shaped device arranged in the uterus. And the other end is having a pair of string hanging into the vagina. So this will be inserted into the uterus by a doctor. It should be done by doctor, not by individual, like condoms. Okay, once it is arranged, it stretches the uterus like that, and it will be there inside the uterus without any displacement. Suppose if it is displaced, so it moves like this. So these threads will be withdrawn inside, so that if the female feels there are no threads, because why the threads are hanging in the vagina, female can frequently check the threads. If threads are there, that means the contraceptive is intact. If the threads are not there, that means they are retreated inside because of displacement of the contraceptive IUD. Immediately then she will go to doctor and the doctor will arrange it properly. So that's why, to know whether the device is in actual position or not. intact position or not. That's why two strings will be hanging into the vagina. Now, how this copper teat controls pregnancy? You see, by phagocytosis of sperms. That means the copper ions stimulate white blood cells of that area inside the uterus. And if the sperm cells enter during coitus or intercourse, sexual intercourse, all the sperm cells are eaten away by white blood cells. So they will be killed by your white blood cells. This is called phagocytosis. Then second one is they release copper ions, and the copper ions suppress the motility of the sperm. That means the ability of movement will be suppressed. Then the sperm cells become very dull, they cannot move, and they lose the capacity of fertilizing the ovum. They cannot travel up to fallopian tube, ampullary ischemic junction, it cannot go. So that the pregnancy is not possible. This is the way. Now, another one, progestoset. But this IUD also promotes phagocytosis of sperm. But the specialty of this one is it releases not copper ions, it releases some hormones. Hormone releasing IUD. And it makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. The hormones released by this IUD makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. Even zygote is formed, embryo is formed, it cannot be implanted, so no chance of pregnancy. Yeah. Now, one more example, LNG20, which is also hormone releasing IUD. So this is copper T with a long thread. We call it as a progestoset. Progestoset, this is a copper releasing IUD. Yeah. Now, these are different types of IUDs used by female to prevent pregnancy, intrauterine devices. But there are certain facts regarding the intrauterine devices. They are to be placed inside the uterus by a doctor. And they are 99% effective in preventing pregnancy. And these IUDs, how long they can stay? For example, if you take copper IUD, it can stay for 10 years. Yes, 10 years it can stay. Whereas, if it is a hormonal IUD, it can stay about 5 years. Understood? So, it depends on the requirement of the woman or couple. They will go either for copper IUD or hormonal IUD. If they want to maintain long gap, then they go for copper IUD. Right. Now, sometimes, contraceptives, whether it might be oral contraceptives or even IUDs, especially if you take hormonal contraceptives, like oral contraceptives, right? They may give some side effects, like some women get obese, and imbalance of her natural hormones may occur. And in some cases there is a slight change of voice or development of slight mustache in rare cases. If the woman use IUDs, IUDs sometimes they may cause irritation in the abdomen, inside the uterus, and intermittent bleeding may occur. Generally, bleeding occurs at the time of menstruation, but in between menstruation to menstruation, intermittently, now and then, bleeding will be there. And even during menstrual period, profuse bleeding, breakthrough bleeding, we call it as a breakthrough bleeding. Profuse bleeding will be there. More blood loss will be there. And sometimes there is an irregularity in menstrual bleeding. And sometimes there is a chance of breast cancer. So these are the limitations of IUDs. Right. That's why, that means, so far what else we have discussed, they have certain limited side effects. Of course, except, suppose if you take Diro, the diaphragms, a couple feels some discomfort in using them. They don't feel that much intimacy while they are in using them. Okay, that's why they feel inconvenienced. So every contraceptive has certain side effects. Then what is the best method of preventing pregnancy? Go for surgical method. Surgical methods. Cutting. Here, this is meant for both male and female. So only two options are there for both male and female. That is condoms and surgical methods. Then other methods are exclusive for female only. Now what are the methods available for male and female? For male, vasectomy. For female, tubectomy. Ectomy means cutting. Vasectomy, cutting down vas deferens. Tubectomy, cutting of fallopian tube. That's all. Let us see. These methods, especially tubectomy, is very popular. Most of the Indian women, they go for a tubectomy after being blessed with 2 children or 3 children, depends on their interest. They go for tubectomy, and it is generally called as sterilization surgery. So here, tubal ligation or tying the tube. Why it is called a tubal ligation or tying the tube? Here, this is our fallopian tube, a pair of fallopian tube. They are meant for transport of ovum released by ovary from here to here. And fertilization occurs at the ambulary ischemic junction. Then the zygote will be developing into embryo and it will be implanted. Now suppose if you can keep something obstruction here, that should be a permanent obstruction. That's what both sides we cut and ligation, tying. How it is done, let us see. Yeah. This is a fallopian tube. Now this tube is cut, this tube is cut, and both ends, free ends are ligated. And a small portion, few mm portion is removed, and both ends are ligated here also. Now what will happen? Ovary produces as usually ovum. Ovum will be transferred up to here. Now sperm will come and travel up to here. Then there is no chance for the sperm and ovum to meet with each other. No fertilization. That's all. As usually, the menstrual cycle will be continued. Here the uterus will be preparing bed for the oncoming ovum, expecting that it would be fertilized by the sperm and zygote would be formed. Zygote would be implanted to the wall of uterus. But uterus doesn't know that the path of the zygote or ovum is obstructed by cutting. As usually, it prepares the bed so it will be waiting because it doesn't receive the zygote because there is no chance for the zygote to form. Then the traditional bedding will be just falling down. That's what we call it as menstruation. Sloughing of additional layers of uterus. That's all. So regular periods will be there, but no chance of pregnancy. How it is done? In olden days, they used to cut the abdomen and open and do it. But today, it's not like that. Very simple. A small incision is made here and here. A small incision through which, this is what we say here, a laparoscopic light will be arranged, and it will be taking the picture of this one, and the picture can be seen in the monitor of the computer. Doctors will observing that, and through this small hole they introduce a small instrument by which they can cut the fallopian tube and ligate both ends. Very simple. It doesn't pose any life threat. It is simple surgery. Most of Indian women are going for this. Now coming to still easier surgery, that is vasectomy, another sterilization procedure for males. So here, as the name suggests, cutting the vas deferens. I will show you. This is your regular vas deferens coming from each testis, ascending up. Here you see in this picture, it is cut and the small portion is removed and both ends are ligated. How it is done? You know, both the testes are located in the scrotum. A small hole is made in the scrotum here and this vas deferens is pulled out. And a small portion is cut and removed and both ends are ligated and the cut ends are inserted and that hole is closed with a plaster. Very simple. Within 10 minutes it can be done. Now, here, you see, these are intact before surgery. This is after surgery. Both vas deferens are cut. Now tell me, do the testes produce sperms? Yes, you are right. Testes keep on producing sperm cells. But the only problem is transport doesn't occur, that's all. And this procedure do not interfere with the normal sexual behavior or sexual intercourse of the partner. But it's a taboo or it's a misconception that male loses their potency if they undergo this surgery. It is absolutely wrong. Nothing will happen to their potency, the ability to participate in sexual intercourse. So, very simple. It is easier than vasectomy. Okay. Now, this is about surgical method. We have vasectomy and vasectomy. Finally, which method is best for which couple? It depends upon the duration they want to maintain between pregnancy to pregnancy, or after marriage they want to have some time, okay, to get children. So according to their need, that will be decided. Okay. So these are the options of various contraceptive methods, so that the couple can give a break to pregnancy. Okay. Thank you, one and all.